over towards that left shoulder now. Chin towards the left shoulder. And then we can gently bring the chin down to the chest. We're just swinging the head side to side. Chin over towards the right shoulder now. And then we can come back to center. Shoulders away from the ears. Take the chin over towards that left shoulder. And just swinging the head side to side, a bit like a pendulum, coming back to center. Over towards that right shoulder. And then back to center. Releasing any tension through into the neck and into the shoulders. And then we're going to bring the head to center. Okay, and just open out through those shoulders. Release the shoulders down the sides of the body. Let's reach those arms overhead now. Reaching those arms up as high as we can. So really reaching from those hips. Okay, we're going to have a little stretch up. So we stretch up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to go over towards that right side or towards the left side. So reaching towards the left. And then we can take that left hand down onto the ground, pull the shoulder back, look up towards the ceiling, reaching that right arm over towards the left, really opening out through those intercostal muscles in between the ribs. Inhale to reach. We're going to look down towards that left arm now. Lovely stretch through your intercostal muscles in between the ribs. And then we can come back to center, reaching both arms up overhead, reach up as far as we can. And then we're going to take that right hand down onto the ground, left hand up towards the ceiling, just or reaching the left arm over towards the right. Pull the shoulder back and get that really lovely stretch going through your side waist. And then looking down towards that right arm, really lovely stretch through that right side, the left side. And then we can come back to center. Let's take that little stretch over. So taking that right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left hand onto the sacrum, the lower back. All that little bit of space behind you, crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Exhale, gently taking eye over shoulder. Drop the chin towards the chest. So getting that really lovely opening through your thoracic spine in between your shoulder blades. And then as we inhale, we can gently come back to center, shoulders away from the ears. Let's take that left hand onto the right thigh, right hand onto the lower back or the space behind you. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Exhale, eye over shoulder. Drop the chin towards the chest. So getting that lovely stretch through your upper back. And then as we inhale, let's come back to center, shoulders away from the ears. Okay, let's get to take away any blocks or bricks that we're sitting on now. So we've got those sit bones rooted down into the ground. Let's extend those legs now out in front. So as we extend those legs, take the fleshy part away from the sit bones, or we shuffle forward, we get the same effect. Push those heels to the front of the room and draw those toes back, sitting up really, really tall. So we've got the sit bones down, the sacrum, and all those intervertebral discs being stacked on top of each other. Reach those arms back overhead. Reach up as far as we can. Inhale to reach. Now exhale, folding forwards towards the toes. So think of the movement coming from the hips. We're still warming everything up as we look at the toes. Push those heels towards the front of the room. Inhale to work with the breath. Exhale, chest going down towards the thighs, looking at the toes. You're just getting that lovely stretch through into your lower back. Okay, through your legs, toes back towards the shins. So we're going to reach those arms back overhead, reach up as far as we can. Okay, taking those arms down the side. Let's cross those legs over. Okay, and then we're just going to come forwards over those arms, uncrossing those legs again. So middle fingers towards the top of the mat. We've got the shoulders away from the hips, the shoulders away from the ears, and we've got the crown of the head away from the tailbone. So we're just creating that length. Now let's come into some cat and cow stretches. As you exhale, bring chin onto the chest, raise that spine up to the ceiling, tucking the tailbone under, opening the vertebra, look at the knees. Inhale to reverse the stretch. Look up towards the front of the room. Deep stretch down the front of the body. Let go of the belly. Exhale into that cat arch again. Scoop the belly. Tuck the tailbone under. Open the vertebra. And then inhale. Reverse the stretch. Look up towards the front of the room. Okay, and then let's come back into our cat arch. Exhale. Chin onto chest. Looking at the knees. Really scooping the belly. Tucking the tailbone under. Pushing through the toes and shins. And then as we inhale, we reverse that stretch. Look up towards the front of the room. Tailbone up towards the ceiling. We let go of the belly. Okay, let's come into one more round. Exhale, chin onto chest, raising that spine. Scoop in the belly. Inhale, just to reverse that stretch. Look up to the front of the room. Deep stretch down the front of the body. And then come back into your neutral spine. Crown of the head away from the tailbone. Let's gently start to lean forward now. Tuck the toes under. And send the tailbone back towards the heels. We get that really good stretch now into the soles of the feet. Making sure you've got all 10 toes pressed in forwards, looking towards the knees. Pads to the fingers, palms of the hands into the ground. Okay, into down face puppy. Exhale. Just let go. Send the tailbone towards the heels. Now let's come forwards over the arms and start to look towards the end of your mat. Draw the front body towards the back of the body, so we're engaging with the core. We start to hover the knees off of the ground. Just that little hovering, knees off the ground, and then we're going to roll ourselves up into down face dog. So make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. Press the pads of the fingers and the palms of the hands into the ground. Or we can do those gentle yes, no nods with the head. Start to take the heels to the ground, lengthening through the ankles, the calves, back of the thighs. Okay, we're in our first down face dog, so just notice any pinch points in the body. Are you feeling tight in the shoulders? Might be the head, the neck, might feel a bit tight in those legs. And just notice, start to breathe into any points of tension. Exhale, just allow that tension to breathe away. Now as we inhale, come up high onto tiptoes. We bend the knees and look towards the hands. Look beyond the hands. Let's bring that right foot now in between the hands. So just bring it forwards if you need to. Okay, give it a hand. And then we can start to straighten out the legs. Let's have that gentle rock backwards and forwards. Looking in between those knees now. Weight into the front foot and then into that back heel. So looking in between those knees, gentle rocking backwards and forwards. And then we're going to hop that left foot in to join the right in between the hands. Just feel the weight of the head, shoulders, arms, pull the body to the ground, and we're going to gently rock side to side. Okay, crown of the head to the ground, fingertips to the ground. Let's have that gentle rock. Woo, side to side. Weight into the balls of the feet. We can start to hug those elbows in now. If we hug the elbows, we'll put a little more pressure on the lower back, okay? So just listen to how that feels in your body today, hugging those elbows. Looking in between the knees. And then we're going to bring the body to stillness, let go of the elbows. Fingertips just in front of the feet. We then bring the weight into the balls of the feet, soften the knees. We're going to reverse that swan stretch, take the arms as wide as you can out to the sides of the room and into prayer position over the head. Inhale into your thumbs and then exhale, bringing the hands down into heart center, shoulders away from the ears. Okay, standing towards the top of your mat, big toes, heels together. It just completely cuts my head off now. Let me just click that button so I can still see everybody. Lovely. Okay, so we're standing towards the top of my mat, of your mat. Big toes, heels together. Squeeze the knees in towards each other. Hands into prayer position. Thumbs in towards the breastbone. Tuck the chin. Look towards the fingertips. Nice soft inhalation. Let's breathe down into the belly. So inhale, breathing into the belly. Exhale, belly back to spine. Release your shoulders. Now as you inhale, raise the arms overhead. Look at the thumbs. Drop your shoulders now. Try not to flare the ribs. Draw the ribs in and come into a baby back bend. So we open through the chest, through the heart center. Now inhale back to center, and as you exhale, let's swan dive forwards, arms wide, either side of the feet. Let the weight of the head be really heavy, looking in between those knees. Okay, inhale, and as you exhale, folding forwards. Crown of the head, shoulders, arms, pulling the body to the ground, sending the tailbone to the ceiling. Okay, coming into your flat back extension. So we've got those choices now. Take the palms facing just in front of the feet and we raise the head. Or, okay, variation is to walk up onto the shins and just create length, crown of the head away from the tailbone. Or we can bring the hands up onto the shins, elbows tucked in towards the body, just create that nice length through the whole of the spine. Inhale now, take the hands either side of the feet, tuck the chin, look at the knees. Let's step back as wide as we can with the right foot and drop the right knees, toes, shins to the ground. Heel toe the left foot towards the outer side of your mat. Okay, so just coming into that low lunge. We're going to bring the right hand to the inside of the left foot and we're going to open out through that left arm. So take that left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. See if you can bring the weight into those front toes. So we get a really good stretch going through that hip flexor of the back leg. So inhale, reach. And then exhale, bringing that hand to the outside of the front foot. Just heel toe the front foot to the middle of your mat. Tuck toes under of the back foot. So we're into that low, low lunge. We then send the left foot to join the right behind. Into a plank position now, Plankasana. Bring the weight into those heels. Push the heels away. Draw that inner navel in. Variation is to drop the knees down first. Now come down with control. Let's go all the way down onto tummies first. So forearms, palms of the hands rooted down into the ground. Okay, pushing those toenails into the ground, opening through the chest, through that heart center. Look up to the front of the room. Okay, so long as you've got no issues with your lower backs today, draw those lower ribs in. Okay, that will switch on the core, hands underneath the shoulders, come up onto the front of the thighs, open through the chest. And then if you're feeling adventurous, come up onto the toes, up face dog. And then from here, we can tuck the toes under, down face dog. Press the pads of the fingers, palms of the hands into the ground. Inhale with the breath. Exhale, crown of the head, okay, down towards the ground. We're looking in between the knees. Take those heels down to the ground, just lengthening those ankles, calves, back of the thighs into our down face dog. Now inhale, come up high onto your tiptoes, bend the knees a lot and look towards the hands. Again, we're going to bring that right foot in between the hands. So just bring it forwards if you need to. Looking good. And then we can straighten the legs. Okay, straighten, gentle rock, backwards and forwards. And then hopping that left foot in to join the right in between the hands. Make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. So do that while we're in our forward fold. Two little fists, place the fists in between the feet. Let the weight of the head be heavy. Fingertips just in front of the toes. Let's have that gentle rock. Breathe. As you exhale, chest onto the thighs, look in between those knees. Just letting go, rocking side to side. Okay, we're going to bring the body to stillness now. Bring the weight into the balls of the feet. Soften those knees. Let's roll ourselves up. Tucking the tailbone under. Start to stack the vertebrae on top of each other's shoulders. And then the head up last. We're rolling up slowly. So the slower we come up, the better. Okay, then we're not going to go dizzy. So come towards the top of your mat again. Big toes, heels together. Squeeze the knees in. Hands back into our prayer position at the heart center. Touch in, look at the fingertips. So we've got that nice lengthening into the back of the neck. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Look at the thumbs. Drop your shoulders. Come into that baby back bend. Okay, really open through the chest. Now inhale back to center, and as you exhale, let's swan dive forwards, arms wide either side of the feet. Let the weight of the head, shoulders, arms pull the body to the ground, looking in between the knees. Into your flat back extension, so palms facing just in front of the feet. Or we walk the hands up onto the shins. Draw those elbows in, create that length. Or we can take the hands up onto the front of the thighs. Lovely long stretch from the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Inhale, and as you exhale, take the hands either side of the feet into your forward fold. Now let's send the left foot back wide this time. Okay, heel toe the front foot towards the outer side of the mat. We can drop that left knee down towards the floor. Place the left hand to the inside of the right foot. And almost with an archer pose with that right arm, take that right arm all the way to the ceiling. Bring the weight into the front toes. So really stretching out through your hip flexor of that back leg. Inhale, reaching that right arm to the ceiling. So reach up as far as we can. Exhale, bringing that hand to the outside of the front foot. Heel toe the front foot to the middle of your mat. We're framing the front foot with the hands, tucking the toes under of the back foot. So just take a couple of breaths in this position. So opening through those hips. And then we're going to send the right foot to join the left behind back into your plank position. So crown of the head away from those heels. And then we're going to come down with control onto tummies. So just work into cobra, okay? Remember, you can go into baby cobra first. Elbows tucked in towards the body, open through the chest, pushing those toenails into the ground. So we're working into cobra. Remember, you can go into baby cobra, or we can go into up face dog. So look towards the front of your mat. So reaching up. Then we tuck toes under, turn the toes back into down face dog. Spread the pads of the fingers, palms of the hands, tuck the chin, look at the knees. Take the heels to the ground, just one at a time. Start to create that length through the legs. So taking that dog for a walk, one heel down, then the other heel, tucking the chin and looking at the knees. Don't forget the breath. Inhale, exhale. Lower ribs in towards the spine, tailbone towards the ceiling. Yes, no nods. Okay, let's come up high onto your tiptoes, high as you can. Bend the knees, lift the hands. We're going to bring that left foot in between the hands. Okay, let's hop the right foot in slightly. We have that gentle rock, backwards and forwards, looking in between those knees. So just that gentle rock, backwards and forwards. Now, instead of bringing the right foot in, we're going to pivot the right foot to the side of the room. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. And we're going to just take the hands to the middle of the mat. So we're going into a wide leg, forward fold. Okay, so taking the feet wide, heel toe the feet towards the outer sides of the mat. Have a look at the outsides of the feet. And just make sure the outsides of the feet are in line with the outsides of your mat. Okay, so we haven't got, if you're looking at your feet, okay, you're halfway down, make sure the outside blades of the feet are in line with the outsides of your mat. Fingertips to the ground. Okay, let's start to create length through the spine. Crown of the head, away from the tailbone, draw that inner navel in. Inhale. Exhale, crown of the head now down to ground. Now make sure we're not locking those knees. Little micro bends into the knees. And we can bring the hands down onto the floor. Fingertips in line with the toes. And we can squeeze those elbows in now. Squeezing the elbows in. Crown of the head to the ground. We're in a wide leg forward fold. Fingertips, palms of the hands onto the floor. Inhale, work with the breath. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in. Make sure we're not locking those knees. Micro bends into the knees. Crown of the head, just let go. Can it touch the floor? Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. And then we're going to walk those hands out forwards. Okay, crown of the head, away from the tailbone. Start to heel toe the feet in towards each other. Hands onto the front of the hips. Create that length. Crown of the head away from the tailbone. Make sure we're not locking out the knees. As we start to slowly bring ourselves up, heel toe the feet in. Soften those knees. Okay, weight into the balls of feet. Roll yourself up. Come up slowly. We've been down there for quite a while. Bring the shoulders and then the head up last. So we're rolling ourselves up. Heel toe the feet in towards each other. Looking good. Okay, let's come into some balance. So we're going to bring the right foot onto the floor. The right foot onto the floor. Let's create that length with the arms. So extending those arms out to the sides. Right foot into the mat. What we're going to do is we're going to bring that knee in line with the hip. Okay, so you've got that balance there. So flex that left foot as well. Soften the right knee. And then we're going to take that leg away. Into our warrior three, aeroplane. Draw that inner navel in, engaging with the core. And then we're going to bring ourselves back up. Okay, knee in line with the hip. Arms are wide. Release the shoulders. And we're going to take it back slowly. So when we start to bring movement in with the balances, wow, that's when it becomes really quite tricky. Look to the end of your mat. And then gently bringing ourselves back up. So we've got the knee in line with the hip, arms are wide, release the armpits. And then one more time, taking that leg away. Push that heel to the back of the room or back of your mat or your garden. Reach. And then gently bringing ourselves up, knee in line with the hip. Okay, and then bringing that leg down. Wonderful. Okay, let's do the same on the other side. So left foot, spreading the toes, getting your foundation, and bringing the right knee, okay, in line with the hip. Arms are wide. Okay, flexing that right foot. And all we're going to do is take it back. Take it back, start to lean forward. Arms are wide. So just creating that length with your wings or into that aeroplane. And then gently, let's come back up. Whoop, knee in line with the hip. Arms are wide, flex that foot. Whew. And then taking it away again. Taking that leg right heel away. Look to the end of your mat. Shoulders away from the ears. And we're going to come back up. Okay, back up into, okay, that balance. Knee in line with the hip. Arms are wide. Looking good. And then last time, take that leg away into that aeroplane, warrior three. Breathe. And then last time, bring that leg up, knee in line with the hip, bringing that leg down. So balance and movement, really quite tricky sometimes. Okay, bringing the leg down. Let's come towards the top of your mat now. So towards the top, big toes, heels together, squeeze the knees in, hands back into prayer position at the heart center. Just tucking the chin slightly, looking at the fingertips. Get that nice lengthening into the back of the neck, into the shoulders. Now inhale, raise the arms overhead, look at the thumbs. Drop your shoulders and come into that baby back bend. So really open through the chest, through the heart center. Inhale back to center. Exhale as we swan dive forwards, arms wide, either side of the feet. Feel the weight of the head, shoulders, arms, pull the body down, looking in between those knees. Inhale, come up halfway. Take your choice now. Palms facing in front of the feet, raise the head. Or walk the hands up onto the shins. Okay, big distance between your shoulders and your ears. Or take the hands up onto the front of the thighs, elbows in towards the body and creating that length. Now we take the hands either side of the feet. Tuck the chin, look at the knees. We're going to step into our 4-point kneeling. Right foot first, left foot to follow. Drop the knees down, walk the hands in. So we've got the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and just looking towards the end of your mat. Crown of the head away from the tailbone. Just draw that inner navel in so we've got that nice long flat spine. Okay, another balance we're going to come into is opposite arms to legs. So right arm, left leg, extend. We then lift, right arm, left leg. Come forward slightly. Whoa, there's your balance. Take the right arm to the right, left leg out to the left. Now we can bend that knee out to the side if you haven't got a lot of space. Or we can keep that left leg straight. We then come back to center, hand under shoulder, knee in underneath the hip. Okay, let's do the same the other side. Left hand, right foot away. We then lift. Lift. Take that left arm to the left, right leg out to the right. So we can bend that right leg. Okay, bend it out. We then come back to center, hand underneath your shoulder, knee in underneath the hip. Let's do it 2 more times each side. So right arm, left leg away. Lift. Come forward slightly. That will throw you off balance. Right arm to the right, left leg out to the left. But you can bend that left leg as it comes out to the side. We then come back to center, hand under shoulder, knee in under the hip. Left hand, right arm away. Lift, out to the side. Remember, you can bend those knees and then come back to center. Hand on the shoulder, knee under the hip. One more time each side. Right arm, left foot. Extend, out to the side. Right arm, left leg to the side. Back to center. Hand on the shoulder, knee underneath the hip. Last time, left arm, right foot. Lift. Come forward slightly. Left arm to the left. Right leg out to the right. And then come back to center. Hand on the shoulder, knee underneath the hip. Let's take the knees to one side, feet to one side, and come down into seated. And extend those legs now out in front. So extending, we've got those heels towards the front of the room. Take the fleshy part away from the sit bones. Always shuffle forward, we get the same effect. Reaching those arms overhead now. Reach up, release the shoulders. Think of the movement now coming from the hips. Inhale to reach. Exhale, folding forwards, looking towards the toes. Draw the toes back towards the shins now. Inhale, work with the breath. Exhale, squeezing the air out of the lungs. See if you can go that little bit deeper. Try not to lock those knees. Okay, don't worry if you can't reach the toes. We go to the knees, shins, ankles, beyond the toes, but only if that feels right for you today. Inhale. Exhale, creating that length. Creating length through the lower back, but also through, okay, the lower back and these legs. And then we're going to let go of the toes. Raise the arms overhead, reach up as far as we can. Really good. Bringing those arms down the side. Let's keep the left leg extended. Give yourself a bit of a hug with that right leg in. So right leg in towards the chest. Step the right foot over the left. So we're engaging with that left foot now. Sitting up really tall. Let's raise that left arm up. Raise up the left arm. We're going to give yourself a big squeeze with that right knee coming into the chest. Take the right hand onto that lower back. So inhale, create that length, crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And then we're looking over that right shoulder. Give yourself a big stretch. Hugging that leg in. So massaging as well, all those internal organs by hugging that leg in. And then we can come back to center. Uncrossing that leg. Shaking out through those legs. In a little shake out first. Extend the right leg. Give yourself a bit of a hug. That left leg in. So we're sitting up really tall. Crossing that left leg over the right. Sitting up really tall. Let's raise that right arm up. And then we give ourselves a big squeeze. Hugging that leg in. Hugging that right leg in. And then with the left leg, sorry, the left hand down onto the lower back. Or the space behind you. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale. Eye over the shoulder. Slowly. And just looking over, really engaging through that right leg. So really squeezing that leg in, massaging all of those internal organs. And then we can come back to center. Okay, uncrossing that leg. Let's shake out through those legs now. Give that little shake out. Coming into Baddha Konasana now. Soles of feet together, Baddha Konasana. Bring the heels in towards the sit bones. Or the sit bones just shuffle forward in towards those heels. Sitting up really tall, really, really tall. Crown of the head towards the ceiling, sit bones to the ground. We're going to interlace the fingers around the toes now. Inhale, create that length. Big distance between shoulders and ears. And as we exhale, elbows in towards each other, chin onto chest, we look towards the navel, scooping the belly, that general direction of the navel. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, creating that length. Exhale, elbows in. Looking towards the navel. Elbows in towards each other. Press the soles of the feet together. Try not to round in the back. Okay, big distance between shoulders and ears. Just simply squeezing the elbows in and looking to the navel. As we press the soles of the feet together, we're working through the insteps and the knees automatically go down towards the ground. Okay, and then gently bringing yourself up. Take the hands to the outside of the knees, bring those knees back in towards each other. Okay, shake out through those legs again. Let's shuffle forward on your mats. Soles of the feet onto the floor. Soles of the feet onto the floor, knees up towards the ceiling. So we're bending through those knees. Hands underneath the thighs. Sitting up onto those uncomfortable bony bits. Let's take the right leg away and the left leg away. So sitting up tall. Okay, and we're going to take those arms away. Knees in towards the chest. And let's have a little play. Take straight to the legs. Whoop, arms out to the sides. And then bringing yourself up. Okay, boat pose. 2, extended. Extended boat pose. And bringing those legs up. Knees in line. Okay, knees up to the ceiling. Calves in line with the ground. Shins in line with the ceiling. Open up through those arms. Woohoo! Okay, engage. Back into a boat pose. Oh, one more time. Straighten. Engage. And coming back up. And let's bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. And we continue to roll ourselves down. Make that C curve with the spine. Scoop the belly. Chin onto the chest. Keep going. Keep going through the middle of the back. Keep going through your shoulder blades, shoulders. Head last, take those arms overhead. Okay, point those toes. Give yourself a big, long stretch. So fingertips away from the toes. Inhale to reach. Lovely big stretch back of the arms, upper chest, into those lower ribs, into the belly, front of the thighs, calves, ankles, and then into toes. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bringing the arms overhead. Gently bring those knees into the chest. So taking the hands on top of the knees or underneath, bringing those knees into the chest. So let's have that gentle rock side to side. Just start to ease off any tension you don't know you're holding through your mid-lower backs. Okay, so just that gentle rocking. Let's bring the soles of the feet down onto the floor. Make sure the feet are about hip distance apart, so toes out 10 to 2, feet for clock face, heels in line. Arms away from the body, just rotate those palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to go into a monkey spine now. So perhaps come up onto tiptoes, walk the toes in towards the sit bones, drop the heels down. Now we're going to take the knees over towards the right side and listen to your backs, okay? Honour your backs. And then we're going to look, take the gaze down the left arm. So the knees have gone over towards the right. We're looking down the left arm. Take a soft inhalation. Oh, exhale, let go. Looking down, breathing down that left arm. Couple of releasing breaths. Breathing down that left arm. Palm facing up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to bring the head to centre. Gently bringing the knees to centre. Still with the feet about hip distance apart. Arms away from the body, palms up towards the ceiling. Drop the knees now over towards the left. Slowly, okay, notice how that feels in your back. And then we look down that right arm. So down the right arm, arms are wide, palms facing up towards the ceiling. We're going to start to breathe 2 long extended breaths, breathing down that right side. Exhale, let go. We then bring the head back to centre, bringing those knees back to centre. Okay, knees back in towards the chest, hands on top or underneath, but bringing the knees in far enough you imprint the spine. Okay, let's send those legs up towards the ceiling. So just practice rocking side to side, just making sure, okay, that's comfortable with just the legs up towards the ceiling. So really massaging all that blood now is rushing away from the feet, the lower legs, really replenishing, okay, all of that blood around your hips. Okay, and we're going to extend those arms up towards the ceiling. So as we extend those arms, see if you can get the shoulders off the ground. And then we're drawing the shoulders back down to the ground. So arms up, reach the arms up. This is monkey in the tree. And then draw the shoulders down. So you might want to take the arms a little bit wider. Still with the palms facing. So reaching those arms up to the sky. Draw the shoulder blades back. So we're opening out through these shoulder blades. Reaching, arms up towards the ceiling. So palms facing, and then drop the shoulders down. And we're going to bring the knees then in towards the chest, hands on top or underneath the knees, and that gentle rock side to side. Let's come into our reclining pigeon, left foot onto the floor. Take that right leg now across the left knee. So take the right ankle across the left knee, right knee towards the front of the room. So we're really opening out through that right hip, okay, into that right thigh. Now, you can flex that right foot or flex the right foot that's on top of the left knee and then draw that left knee in towards the chest. So just drawing the left knee in, opening out through that right knee now. So if you can, just bring that right arm through, interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Draw that left knee in towards the chest. Remember to flex the right foot. And then we can start to send that left leg up towards the ceiling. So straighten that left leg towards the ceiling. So looking good. Really opening out through that right hip. Flexing the right foot that's on top of the left knee. Now, if you want a bit more, unthread that needle and we take hold of the calf. Okay, that left calf. Listen to your body. Now, if you find that you're rolling off of the sit bones, okay, you've rolled up into the middle of the spine, then we thread the needle again. Now we're going to bend that left foot, bring it down onto the floor, unhooking those arms. Take the right ankle down towards the floor. We do the same little flow on the other side. Extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. Take the left leg across the right knee and allow that left knee to go to the front of the room. Flex that right foot, the left foot on top of the right knee. Okay, draw that knee towards the chest. Okay, remember to flex the left foot. We're going to thread the needle, take that left arm through the legs, interlace behind the right thigh now. And then so long as you're feeling okay through the hips, extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. Remember to keep that left foot flexed. It's on top of the right knee. Now, if you want more of a challenge, unthread the needle, see if you can take a hold of the calf or the ankle or the toes. But make sure we're not rocking into that lumbar or the thoracic spine. Got the whole of the spine imprinted. And then we can bend that right foot onto the floor, unthread the needle, foot onto the floor, unhook that left ankle. Really good. Okay, arms away from the body. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet together. Big toes, heels together. Allow those knees just to flop out to the sides. We can extend the arms overhead now. Arms overhead, interlace the fingers. Palms of the hands towards the crown of the head. Tuck the chin slightly under, but take the elbows wide. So we don't need the arms extended. Palms of the hands practically on top of the head. Elbows are wide. Align your big toes, heels, all of your little toes touching. And then we're going to have a gentle rock side to side. Really start to massage, okay, through the sacrum, the lower back. This is extended butterfly. Okay, just rock in, give yourself a lovely stretch through into that lower back. That gentle rocking side to side. Make sure there's no tension in your shoulders. Just releasing any tension now through those legs, the quadriceps, inner thighs, soles of feet together. Okay, bringing the legs to stillness, still aligning the heels, big toes touching. We're going to pulse the knees. So just pulsing the knees, fluttering the wings of a butterfly. Just releasing that, again, that tension through the inner thighs. Fluttering the wings of your butterfly. And then bringing the legs to stillness, bringing the arms back overhead. Okay, hands to the outside of those thighs, bring those knees in towards each other. And then we're ready to come into the last couple of minutes of relaxation, everybody. So you just might want to bring the knees into the chest first, a little rock side to side. Just opening out through that mid-lower back, circles, knees into chest, knees away. And then in the opposite direction, so again, knees in towards the chest and knees away. And then we're coming into a little bit of relaxation. So now we just need to be comfortable, okay? So just do whatever feels right for you in our relaxation. So if you want to lay down, put on some warm socks or tops if that's what you need to do. Take the legs to the outer sides of the mat, arms away from the body. So just be in relaxation. You don't need to lay down. If you prefer to be seated, you can be seated with me. Okay, so just being comfortable. Start to become aware of your breath now, the long extended breath. Start to deepen the breath by sending the breath all the way down into the belly. Exhale, belly back to spine. Notice the breath, lower ribs, upper chest, collarbones, and then back into the throat. Start to become aware of the weight of the legs. Notice the heels, the calves, the back of the thighs. Start to notice the hip joints. And then the points of the vertebra making contact with the ground. Notice now the weight of the shoulders. And from the weight of the shoulders, we notice now just the weight of the arms. Back to the arms, the elbows. The back to the forearms, and then the back to the hands on the ground. Fingers softly, naturally curled in towards the palms of the hands. Then start to notice the weight of the head. Noticing the back of the head, the forehead. Start to notice the sides of the head and the chin. Start to become aware of the throat and the depression in the throat. Start to release now the hinges of the jaw, relaxing the teeth and the tongue. Start to notice the lips and the meeting point of the lips. Become aware of the tip of the nose and the base of the nose. The eyes, the meeting points of the eyes. Notice the eyebrows, eyelashes, ears, cheeks, temples, even the hair. Allowing yourself this time just to stop, just to rest, just to recharge and to rebalance. We continue just to have this little bit of time in our crazy busy world at the moment, just to reflect. It's our grounding. And a little bit of time for you. You've got nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, but enjoy this relaxation. Now, Shavasana, it's the most important posture of our yoga practice. It allows the body to absorb all of those deep stretches. And the mind just to settle. Become aware of the breath coming to the throat as you inhale from the throat to the navel. And exhale from the navel to the throat. Inhale from the throat to the navel. Exhale now from the navel to the throat. Slowly and gently start to bring your minds now back to the class, back to your mat. See yourself now visually, see yourself lying on your mat. Just bringing the focus outwards and just seeing yourself now with that calm mind on your mat. As we start to bring a little bit of life into the body now, just starting to wiggle through your fingers and wiggling through your toes. So slowly starting to wake the body up, wiggling fingers and toes. Taking small circles with the wrists and with the ankles. And if that doesn't feel right for you at this stage, we can stay with literally with wiggling fingers and toes. And then today, let's bring the arms overhead and give yourself a big, long stretch. Just take those arms overhead, start to point the toes. Give yourself a big, long morning stretch. You've earned it today. So then as we inhale, reach, and as we exhale, bring the arms overhead and bring those knees in towards the chest. Taking the hands on top of the knees or underneath the knees. Let's have that gentle rock side to side. Slowly, gently, no sudden movements. Take it in your own time. And then we're going to think about how we're going to transition to seated now, so we can cross over at the ankles or just bringing ourselves or roll over onto the right hand side, left hand side, and then gently bringing ourselves up to seated. Okay, keeping the eyes closed. And then once up to seated, let's rub these hands together, create that warmth and that energy by palming the hands. And then once you've got these palms all nice and warm, we take the palms of the hands and gently cup them over the eyes. And then we blink those eyes into those dark, warm palms, knowing now the energy we've created by palming the hands is coming into the face and therefore into the body. So blinking the eyes open. And then we're going to spread the fingers wide, and with the eyes open, gently drop the hands down away from the face, let that light into the eyes. Let's bring the arms overhead and gently taking that energy we created today from the crown down into the crown of the head. And remind ourselves of clear, loving and kind thoughts. Bring the palms of the hands into the heart center and remind ourselves of clear, loving and kind intentions. We then bring the palms of the hands onto the face just in front of the mouth and remind ourselves of clear, loving and kind communication.